Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Nothing Eat TV. Today I got the Lenovo A6000 smartphone pitched against Moto G second gen smartphone. There is a significant price difference between these two phones, around say $100, but less than $100 actually, $90 around. But then these phones have many things in common, and so a comparison is much needed. I've been receiving user queries on that. For starters, both the phone got 5-inch HD display, and the display is really good. Let's talk first about the design, display, and the build quality. The build quality of design of both the phones is really good, but the build quality of the Moto G second gen smartphone is a notch higher than the Lenovo A6000 handsets. Moreover, this phone got a Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection, while A6000 does not have a Gorilla Glass 3 protection. On the brighter side, if you manage to break your Gorilla Glass 3, you know, the cost of getting it replaced is much higher as compared to a normal display, so you will incur less replacement cost on Lenovo 6000 as compared to Moto G. But in terms of display, also the sharpness of color and the richness of colors, actually Moto G2 is ahead than the Lenovo 6000. And in terms of build too, I'll give a Moto G second gen upper hand over the Lenovo A6000 smartphone. Talking about the performance now, guys, for that, I ran Antutu benchmark on both the phones, and the scores were more or less similar. Let it load up. As you can see, 20,722, it's 18,828. I mean, yeah, Lenovo A6000 got a more latest processor. It got Qualcomm Snapdragon 4110 processor, while this one got a Qualcomm Snapdragon 400 processor, and therein lies the difference. Now let me try to show you the multi-touch on both the phones. 5-point multi-touch on both the phones. Now, the next thing, which is pretty significant. So, in terms of performance, they are more or less like same. I played games Asphalt 8 Airborne, playable on low and medium graphic settings easily. Moderate game like Shark Attack 2, again heavy game Overkill 3. All games which game will run on this at a particular setting. Same thing will happen on Lenovo and vice versa. Now, moving on to the camera, I clicked a few images which I like to show you. These images have been clicked in the same conditions. Now, the first and foremost difference you can see is that the Moto G2 will offer you a wider image as compared to the Lenovo A6000. Both phones got 8 megapixel camera, and this is 8 megapixel image on both the phones. So, if I zoom in, guys, the since the image here is small, so the clarity and the details is more on A6000 than on what we got on the Moto G second gen smartphone. Let's uh, check out another image. The image quality is much better on Lenovo A6000 as compared to the Moto G second gen smartphone. Let's go for one more image. The zoom angles are different. Yeah, this will give you a much better idea. Now both the phones were kept on the automatic setting, while Lenovo 6000 used flash. Moto G second gen didn't think that it is good to use flash. As a result, the image quality and the clarity is better in Lenovo A6000. Moving on to a front facing camera, guys. This is the area where Lenovo A6000 does not score over the Moto G, and Moto G provides us much better front-facing images. Both the phones got a 2 megapixel front-facing camera, but Moto G second gen got a really nice front-facing camera. You can see the amount of details which at the tiger's eyes are not visible, especially the right eye in the A6000, while things are clear and decent in Moto G second gen. So guys, if we talk about the rear camera, then Lenovo A6000 scores pretty easily over the Moto G second gen, but Moto G second gen is a clear winner when it comes to the front facing camera. Moving on to the battery aspect, guys. Now you might be asking which phone before the I go to the battery, which on which phone can you transfer apps to SD? Now let me tell you that apps are movable to the SD card on both the handsets, so that is not an issue. Another thing which I receive a lot of queries upon is whether the phone supports OTG or not. Now, that is an interesting aspect. Lenovo A6000 does not have OTG support. Moto G second gen has a cool OTG support. So, you just need to plug in this OTG cable and it will directly run any video or run a game which is stored in this pen drive. Now moving on to the battery, let me open the backplate. The backplate on both the phones can be removed. So guys, as you can see, while I can remove the battery on the Lenovo A6000, the battery is completely sealed in the Moto G2. Both the phones got two SIM card options and one micro SD card option. The battery on this phone is a 2070 milliamp hour battery, while on A6000 it's a 2300 mAh battery. Now the battery backup on A6000 is much better at what we got on Moto G second gen smartphone. With moderate usage, this phone A6000 will easily see you through complete one day. But with moderate usage, you won't be getting that much battery backup with the Moto G2. I mean, if you constantly keep running a video or playing a game on both the phones, you will see that Lenovo A6000 will run extra 1.5 hour than the Moto G handset. So this is a good enough battery difference too. So guys, we have covered a lot of areas: performance, design, display, camera, gaming, battery. Now this phone costs rupees around 7,000, or you can say $150 around about, not 150, $130 around about, and this phone comes around $200. So there's a significant price difference of $70 or rupees 5,000, 5 to 6,000. But then, uh, it's ultimately your choice which brand you opt for. Both are good brands. You will getting the latest software with the Moto G2. That is the significant advantage. Let me show you the OS which both the phones are currently operating on. So it's Android KitKat on this Lenovo A6000 4.4.4, and the latest 5.0.2 Lollipop on the Moto G2. So guys, if you want to go for the latest updates, a better display, Corning Gorilla Glass C protection if you drop your phone more often. Speakers are comparable, while this one got a Dolby dual speakers, but the output is more or less pretty cool on both the phones. That is not an issue. So go for A6000 if you want a better rear camera, while the Moto G2 camera won't disappoint you either, but the camera is slightly better on A6000. The performance is same. If you want a budget phone, which can match up to the likes of Moto G2, let me put it this way, then you can opt for the Lenovo A6000. But if you want OTG support, better display, and the latest software, then go for Moto G second gen smartphone. Thanks for watching the video. Hopefully this video might have solved a lot of query of yours. If you have any query, kindly hit the subscribe button. Stay connected. See ya next time.